So I'm 70 hours into the game already, and I discovered even more mistakes that I made along the way. While some of those mistakes can be fixed, others generate long-term consequences. So that's why I wanted to make an updated mistakes list to further evaluate inefficiencies and things that maybe I wish I knew sooner. This video is suitable for those of you who already had a few hours in the game, but also for those who want to maybe play this game at a given moment and have all the necessary details. I'm also organizing a new giveaway so that you can get a free copy of this game on a platform of your choice. The rules are quite simple. You have to be a subscriber of the channel, leave a thumbs up on the video and also a comment. The winners will be announced on the 15th of this month in the community section for both giveaways that are currently ongoing on my channel. Number one mistake that you'll certainly want to avoid is not investing your talent points wisely. And the reason I insist so much on this subject is because there is no respec available in this game, so you won't be able to reset them later on. Furthermore, even if you reached the maximum level, which is 40, you still won't have enough talent points to unlock everything. So my suggestion would be to have a little bit of patience until probably level 15 at least, so that you can figure out what is your preferred playstyle and what spells you particularly like. As you can see, I have level 35, and if we have a look in the talent section tab, we can clearly see that I have only 31 points that I could invest. And that's because the first talent point you'll get from level 5 onward. So by level 40 that means a total of 36 talent points, but with 48 talent choices available. Definitely pay extra attention to this topic and carefully check the options available in all of these tabs. I honestly regret some of the choices I made, but you guys can do it better now that you know all these details. Moving forward, traits are probably the most important thing in this game when it comes to making a highly reliable build that deals huge damage and enriches our playing experience. And we'll get some from the challenge section as we defeat certain enemies, but we'll also drop lots of them from the chests in enemy bandit camps that we can see scattered around the map. But the thing is that even if I opened all those chests from the enemy camps, I still don't have all level 3 traits unlocked, and that's because those traits can also drop in other chests scattered throughout the world. Now imagine not having exactly the trait you need for your build, which happens most of the times, like the game itself knows and just wants to bother you a little bit. So make sure to leave a couple of those camps for later. The fix for this issue is quite easy. Since those chests don't have a dedicated drop system, that means we can easily save game before opening it, and if we don't like what it drops, we just load and try again until eventually we get the tier we want. Max level for tier is level 3, so those are the ones you'll want to get, especially in the late game. Further down the line, you'll want to eventually build a farm in the room of requirement and invest some gold in the scrolls and seeds you'll need for your potions, combat plants and Merlin trials. Those potions and combat plants are a must, especially if you play this game on max difficulty. Would suggest purchasing the potting tables with multiple pots, as there is a limited amount of 7 that you can place in the room of requirement. The small potting tables will have 5 pots available, the medium ones 3 and the big ones 2. You'll also want to have composters which will produce fertilizers every 4 minutes. Those fertilizers increase your yield by 1 for each plant. You'll also want to have scientific hopping pots that produce a random potion every 10 minutes, and that's useful if you struggle with the materials for some potions, and also material refiners that will produce 10 moonstones each 10 minutes. That will help you gradually gather all the necessary moonstones to build everything you need in the room of requirement. Diving spots and secret locations are scattered everywhere, so you'll do a huge mistake by not exploring them or simply skipping because you can't figure out the puzzle. You'll notice those circles in the water that will bring you to a new area where a chest is hidden. Not only you'll gather loot, but also unlock that particular cosmetic that you can use further down the line, even if you do sell the item. I found this maze in the open and I'll quickly show you how I was able to open it. There were 3 rocks near the maze, but nothing clearly pinpointed me what I needed to do in order to open this maze. So after gathering all the 3 pieces, I used the Findo and it broke them, opening the maze for me. It had a huge chest in the middle, and that means a guaranteed legendary. Same goes for those cave signs you'll find scattered around the map. Those have a rather easy puzzle to solve, and that will open the cave for you, giving access to the treasure that can also drop legendaries, but in most cases just medium quality items. It's also a good idea to increase your customization possibilities, as those puzzles are rather easy to solve. And for mistake number 5, I was too lazy to gather all the necessary demiguise statues to unlock level 3 Alohomora. Now if you don't know, those lock lockers that you see in Hogsmeade can be opened by having the necessary Alohomora level unlocked. Alohomora level 1, you'll get that by completing the first quest for Mr. Moon. For Alohomora level 2, we need to gather 10 demiguise statues, which can only be collected during nighttime, and for Alohomora level 3, we need to gather 13 of them, and that will finally unlock level 3 Alohomora that will assure we can open lockers that have the best loot behind them. And speaking about skins and customization, we also have those arena challenges that will unlock two of the best looking skins in the game, which are the Thief's Cloak and Duelist's Mask, that I personally really like. The challenge is not easy but neither hard, so I'd say to get prepared with some combat plans and maybe even some potions, as each wave will bring more and more enemies, so you may feel overwhelmed at a certain point. If you're struggling with builds, definitely check my top 3 most OP builds video, in which I talk about some of the best setups you can have so that every encounter will be just a funny joke for you. As you advance in the game, it would be possible to make mistake number 6, which is only relying on your spells to break the enemy shields. And we can break the shields in many ways, not just with the color matching spells on the enemy shields. Would definitely recommend investing 1 talent point into the core section for Protego Mastery, as it will break multiple enemy shields at once. You'll have that unlocked from level 22, so definitely keep an eye on this as well. Using Ancient Magic Throw by pressing R1 on your controller will throw a nearby object on the enemy target, breaking his shield, but also use Venomous Tentaculus combined with this trait from the Room of Requirement section, which increases its damage but also gives the ability to break enemy shields. If you combined those previously mentioned methods, you'll have a much easier time, especially on the max level difficulty the game offers. And speaking about plants, there's a special build I mentioned in my previous video that is definitely worth trying. I would not suggest using this in your storyline, as you'll probably miss all the fun the game has to offer, but use it for a difficult scenario that you cannot pass. The idea is quite simple, just apply this trait called Herbology on all your equipment pieces. If you have level 3 for Herbology trait, that's awesome because your damage will be absolutely insane, but it will also work with level 1 or 2 Herbology. Grow some combat plants in the Room of Requirement and come harvest every time you need some. For more details, I'll leave a link in the description to the video in which I extensively address this subject. Traversal mechanics are also a big part of Hogwarts Legacy, as we have different mounts and ways to traverse the map and reach our objectives. While most of these are obtained by just following the main story path, some require you to complete some side missions or even spend some talent points. And one of these examples is Swift, that you can unlock from the talent point section. Not only this will help you traverse Hogsmeade much easier, but will also help you traverse crouching spots much faster. It can also serve as a most valuable dodge mechanic in fighting scenarios, as you can get out of trouble quicker. Also, don't forget to unlock max level upgrades for the broom, and you can do that by completing these side missions for Imelda Reyes. Visit the broom shop in Hogsmeade and you'll have the upgrade unlocked for purchase in a couple of in-game days. It will give you extra speed and stability, which are most valuable for helping you traverse the environment much faster. And finally, the last mistake would be not to watch my previous video with top 15 biggest mistakes, where I approach the most important ones, especially for a beginner. And that's about it. Hope this helped you, and until next time, make sure to subscribe to the channel and also leave a thumbs up, as it really helps me. I also want to take this opportunity to thank you all for all the positive feedback in the last couple of days, and I can only hope that I can return at least a small part of the joy and happiness you gave me. See you soon.